Hello, hello. Hi, so this is Gunship 2000. I think this game is quite legendary, and many people have played this in their
Target
childhood.
right.
So sorry, let me just minimize the sound. It's blaring into my ears. So yeah, this is quite an epic game. Many people have played this when they were younger. Um, I played this. This was back in 1991, but I think I maybe started playing this a year or so after it came out. I got into know Gunship because of my cousin, my childhood cousin, and he I think gave me a copy of this or what. And at first, because this is I guess many people are used to playing jet fighter simulators, right? Like I had what I forgot the jet fighter simulation I was playing back then. Um, maybe F something something. But anyway, so people are not really used to playing helicopter games, especially if you think about it. Attack helicopters really came out during the 1970s, and it was I think around 1980s when the Apache, or maybe a bit early 90s in the Iraq War, right? When the Apache like introduced got introduced to the world. So people, I guess, aren't really that accustomed to attack helicopters, how they operate, how they fly. So when I first, you know, when I first played this, I was playing it like I'm an attack jet fighter. So I was just like blazing through altitude very high, and then I'm getting hit. So I was thinking, why is it like that? So I didn't like it the first time. And then maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, I don't know. Several years passed, and then my cousin showed me the. I guess I got introduced to it again with. I think that was the second time, and it was Ice and Islands. And my cousin let me borrow his manual, and then I started reading about the helicopters, the opposition forces, uh, what you're actually dealing with, what types of weapons are effective against them. And then, but more importantly, I think what got me really interested to play the game, and just with attack helicopters, just basically with attack helicopters, what got me interested is when got introduced to how helicopters operate, attack helicopters. Like the analogy there is like, because helicopters aren't really that fast, and they're a little bit harder to operate compared to jet fighters. um but it said that helicopters are like the real flight vehicles, because their maneuverability, you cannot compare a jet fighter to a helicopter's maneuverability. um, so the helicopter's weaknesses actually serve as their strength. So helicopters, because they don't fly very fast, but they can like hover, they can stay in one place, they can fly forward, backwards, left, right. They can actually weave in and out at low altitudes, through hills, mountains, cover. They're like a
Target left.
jungle cat.
Incoming front.
Yeah, BTR 60. So they're like a
We're hit.
jungle cat stalking their prey. So the main approach is like to fly at a low altitude around 100, I think. If I remember what it says in the manual, it's called NOE, NOE, nap of the earth flight. So basically,
Bogey front.
radar cannot detect you at that low an altitude, except when when I guess the unit, the opposition forces is already very very near. That's just when they will be alerted to your presence. But yeah, so fly very very low, and then use terrain, use hills to cover your approach, and then hover. As you can see here, I was a bit high. That's why the BTR, I think 60 unit, was able to detect me immediately. Good thing I was able to fire one missile and then dispose of him quickly. But as you can see right now, there's a hill in front of me, and I'm preparing to mask myself behind that hill because I know that the see oh look at that, that's side, like I'm flying sideways, strafing sideways. So I'm trying to move closer and closer to the hill to provide me cover, and then I'm going to hover and pop up at the top of the hill just to scan the area. So because I will gain, I would have gained a high altitude.
Incoming rear.
um my radar would detect enemy forces in the surrounding area. Something's coming from behind me, so I again decreased altitude. And then what another good thing is, with helicopters, you can change your helicopter's heading in an instant using the tail rotor, the rudder. Um, See, I'm just hovering. I'm using auto hover right now, and I'm just turning left, right. Uh, Okay, so now I'm facing the unit that I detected that was to my rear. So I faced it right now, and then I'm gaining altitude again to detect it, to have it on my line of sight. I'm actually not quite protected in this angle.
Target front.
Okay, so I see now that the infantry unit is 6.3 kilometers from me. So the Hellfire would only work around 6 kilometers. So what I plan to do is I would like to dispose of that infantry unit because my real target is to the north. But sometimes when I approach and go fly towards north, sometimes my altitude gains, and having units at your back is not really good. So I'm going to try to dispose of it, or not. I think. Let me see. There's a there's an there's a helicopter behind this hill, just maybe masking as well. I was able to detect it, but I masked quickly. But if you can see that, okay, I'm going to try to approach the edge of the hill. And now what you can see is I'm going to try to face the helicopter, but I'm going to fly sideways and then peek at the sides of the hill. So I'm going to auto hover, see? And I'm going to side strafe. Wow. Mind you, I wasn't able to do this back then in the 90s because I'm a little really behind. I wasn't using gamepad, I was just using keyboard, and I found out that if you're using keyboard, actually when you're on in hover, see, there's the helicopter. See? Where we were able to see it a little bit. So I'm going to move left a little more till he's in my line of sight. He reflects in my TADS.
Bogey front. Incoming front.
Target acquisition display system.
We're
There.
hit.
Up. Yeah, too bad. I wasn't able to recover in time. He got a shot off. So, wow. Look at that. As Steve Irwin would say, oh, beauty! Okay, so, okay, I got rid of the helicopter. I think I haven't dealt with the infantry on my fifth, I think. Okay, so as you can see, there's the primary target, but I'm going to fly sidewards, and then I'm going to take cover because I need to take cover using the hills, the mountains, so that I don't readily expose myself to the primary target. So see, I'm at 73. My altitude is 73 right now, and I'm clocking in 121 knots. I don't have my collective uh, fully up because sometimes when you're going really fast, it's harder to, and then suddenly an enemy pops up that you weren't aware of. It's harder to like most of the time I would need cover, and it's hard when you need cover. You need to control your speed. You need to hover behind cover, so it's harder to hover coming from from flight going to a hover if you're really moving really fast. So I'm trying
Target
to.
right.
Okay, now. Okay, I see an SA9.
Incoming front.
So he was pretty
We're
close.
hit.
Oh man, I'm hit again.
Target front.
Another SA9. So they're pretty close. I
We're hit.
guess I was able to detect them at close range because I'm flying at 74 altitude, 74 feet. I see the flight path that I made. So I'm going around the hills, and then when I reach the final hill, I'm going to hover, use it for cover, and then pop up briefly to see which enemies are behind. So, but obviously the primary target is behind the hill. So this is how helicopters work. Um, I'm moving forward slowly, and now I'm transitioning into a hover. I'm decreasing my speed. I'm moving closer to okay, there I clicked auto hover, and then I'm going to measure the distance of the primary target to me. So I would know that which kind of weapons I can use. If I can use my missiles, my Hydra rockets. Hydra rockets, you can only use them 3 kilometers, actually 2.9 kilometers. When you will be able to use them. So like you can see right now, I'm trying to peak just a little bit above that hill, slowly gaining altitude.
Incoming rear.
Okay, now that's the problem. Sometimes you have your helicopter,
We're hit.
heading straight forward, and then you get an enemy behind you, and I'm hit again. So I think this was the infantry that I skipped. So let me just pick up altitude once again. So basically, this is how, I didn't do it really that well, but basically this is the gist of like helicopter masking and no flying, NOE. So I'm trying to gain altitude to get a line of
Target
sight.
front.
Okay, yeah, that was the infantry unit that I didn't deal with a while ago. So see, it came back to haunt me.
Incoming front.
Okay, there. So it has a lock on me, an infrared lock. So I'm going to try to.
We're hit.
Okay, I'm hit again.
Incoming rear.
Okay, so I haven't completed my I haven't destroyed my primary target yet. So I'm moving closer to the hill, and then I'm going to yeah, I'm into hover right now, and then I'm going to raise my altitude.
Target front.
There it is, BTR 60, around 2.9 kilometers. So at this range, I should be able to use my
Target front. Incoming
rockets.
front. Got
With,
primary.
okay, there, got my primary. So
We're hit.
I wasn't able to mask in time. So with rockets, though, you have to have it like lined up in your target, like what do you call that? That target reticle, what do you call that? So because it's unguided actually. Once your like crosshairs, once your crosshair turns solid, then it means like you have like a fairly good alignment to the target, and then you can fire it, and then you don't have to, because with the in contrast with the laser Hellfire A, you have to keep that target locked. You cannot move away your, what do you call that? Is that TADS, because it has the laser designator, I think. Yeah, like you're shining a laser light on it for the Hellfire to home in. So for the Hellfire, you have to keep that lock all throughout. With unguided rockets like Hydras, you just have to fire it when you are
Target front.
when you have it when your like helicopter's heading is on the right direction to the target, and then when you fire it, you can just leave it alone. You don't have to keep your crosshairs on it. So right now I'm coming home. I did notice that with Gunship, if you're going to do a lot of these stealth maneuvers, it consumes a lot of gas actually. So you have to plan ahead how heavy are your
Target right.
ordinances,
Target front.
how far is the target, because it's not really uncommon for you to um, be short of gas and you can't go back to base. I have my M255 Hydra rocket selected actually, you can see that. So right now I'm in hover and I'm going to decrease altitude. When you're in auto hover, it won't go below that red mark. You can adjust that, by the way, but right now it's at 50. So I remove auto hover and then I decreased altitude, landed, and